Rest in peace.
It's too boring.
In loving memory.
Generic.
Gone but not forgotten.
Blur.
Oh, this is hard, you know. I've got it. Fell asleep.
Well, we can't write that, can we?
Why not?
Because she didn't fall asleep, did she?
Oh, yes.
She did the opposite of falling asleep.
I know what happened.
She got hit by a train at an unmanned level crossing. Her fucking head came off. Flew 30 yards into the next field. Took them 4 hours to find it. And a goat ate part of her cheek.
Excuse me?
A goat ate part of her cheek.
That didn't happen.
It did.
Didn't.
It did.
How do you know?
I had a smoke with the bloke from the morgue.
Surely goat's a vegetarian.
Well, this one wasn't.
All right, should we write that then? Hit by a train and a sheep ate her face.
It were a goat.
Stop it. He'll be back in a minute.
Oh, God. Why do we have to do this?
Because we're her only family. We're her only family. Mum would like that we're doing it anyway. When was the last time you saw Moira?
Kate and I popped in for an hour last summer on our way down to Rye.
That's surprisingly thoughtful.
Kate made me do it. I wanted to take the motorway.
God, you sound just like Dad. Claudine, we'll use 18% more petrol if we take the lanes.
The scenic route holds no attraction to a man with his eyes firmly on the road.
He used to drive her mad. Who did this for her?
She must have done it herself. She knew it were coming.
Yeah, I guess. It's funny, you know, I don't remember much about that time.
Well, that's fair enough. It was traumatic.
I just remember sitting in the crematorium. I don't remember how we got there or who organised it or what we did afterwards. Apart from you, Dan and Izzy, I don't remember who was there. Did we buy flowers? Did we get a lift or did we get one of them funeral cars or did we get dropped off? I just remember sitting there completely existing in my head, in my brain, just out of my body, just floating, just floating.
It was a tough time for us all. We had just become orphans.
What?
We had just become orphans.
We aren't orphans.
Both our parents are dead.
I was 25.
So,
orphans are children.
Orphans are people with dead parents. We have dead parents. We're orphans.
Hang on. So anyone with dead parents is an orphan in your book?
It's not my book, it's a fact.
So Moira in there with a sheep-eaten face is an 87-year-old orphan.
It were a goat, but yes.
So if she wanted to, she could have turned up to an orphanage and they'd have had to put her in a bunk above Oliver Twist.
If that were a witch.
You're an idiot.
What about something from the Bible?
What?
A headstone?
Was she religious?
Well, she's getting buried in a churchyard. They don't let you in if you don't go to church.
I know, but going to church don't make you religious. It's like a social thing for old people, isn't it? Like they go there to catch up with friends, like their version of Instagram.
Yeah. I don't remember her talking about God.
Me neither. What do you remember?
Bread and butter.
Bread and butter.
Yeah, we'd go and stay, and you and Mum and Dad would go and see that fucking horse you're obsessed with.
Don't you dare say anything about marshmallow.
And she'd make me a big plate of bread and butter, and she'd lift me onto the counter so I could see the cricket on the green, and I'd sit there for ages and just munch my way through it, and she'd tell me all about her Sid and how he held the record for the most wickets taken over 15 years, and how when he finally retired, they gave him a guard of honour as he left the pitch, and how popular he was at the club. And I'd make up names for the cricketers, like Giles Batsalot or Thomas Ballington. And she'd laugh and she'd laugh and she'd laugh. And And she'd go like, who's that? What's his name over there? And I'd say, Trousery Stump or something like that. Yeah, she'd howl with laughter. Yeah, that was the best bread and butter I've ever eaten. I've never been able to make bread and butter like it. Well, I guess now I'll never know what her secret ingredient was.
Butter.
What?
Her secret ingredient was butter.
What?
You have to use butter if you're making bread and butter.
I use butter.
You don't. You use Flora.
Flora is butter.
Flora is a seed oil-based blended spread.
Flora Light.
Seed oil-based blended spread.
Flora Buttery.
A seed oil-based blended spread.
Right. So to make good bread and butter, I need to use bread
and actual butter.
Actual butter.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Maybe that's it. We'll always miss her bread and butter.
No, we can't write that.
Why not?
Because she lived to be 87. That can't be the pinnacle of her life. She can't have been born and grown up and survived the Blitz and lived and loved and whatever else she did, and the greatest achievement that she has, the thing that lives on long after she's dead, be bread and butter.
But you'll always remember for it, and so will I.
No, come on, we need to get this done.
I'm being serious.
Cassie.
It's perfect.
It's not. It's a snack. It doesn't matter.
It's not about the bread and butter. It's about what it represents. She made an impression on this earth, and her life and her actions live on.
No, they don't. She made some food that were better than the food that Mum made. I was an easy to impress child. It doesn't matter.
It does, doesn't it? It's all that matters. That someone, anyone, remembers you for something. That you made a difference to another human being. That you didn't just vanish without a trace, like you were never there. All right, for Churchill, it might have been winning a war, or for Fleming, discovering penicillin. But maybe for Moira, it was taking the time to sit with us and ask us about our life, about like school and our interests, and to send us a postcard from Devon every May and buy us a £5 book token for Christmas. Yeah. She gave us her undivided attention in a time when all the other adults in our life were too busy arguing or working or pretending they were listening, but really reading the sports section of the Daily Telegraph. And fine, it might not have defeated the Nazis or saved loads of lives, but it mattered to us. And I see it with you when you're with Izzy. I see her face light up because she knows that time that you two were together, her uncle doesn't care about anyone but her and shouldn't have to compete to be heard. She's listened to. And I see the love and security she gets from that. And now she's a more confident little girl on the way home. And now she's slightly chattier than when she was on the way there. And I think that you get that from Moira. From her being enraptured with you and you sitting on the side talking about Trousery Stump. And maybe Izzy will do the same thing in 55 years' time when she's got a great niece or a great nephew. She'll remember how you made her feel. And she'll put down her phone and close her laptop or whatever else they have then. And she'll pick them up and she'll give them her all. And then maybe that child will do the same thing when they're 60 and it'll pass down through the generations and Moira will matter. And she'll have changed the world in a subtle but no less important way. And maybe it's important to remember, actually, that the smallest things can change the world for the better. And for Moira, that can be summed up in 7 words. We'll always miss her bread and butter.
Nah, it's shit.
Ah!